Tagazani. Welcome to another episode of Spiritually Unfiltered, hosted by myself, Unfiltered. Please do like and subscribe onto my YouTube channel if it is your first time listening, and if you are a returning subscriber, hey! This is a safe space where we get to learn and speak about spiritual issues that are affecting us as individuals. Take a second and subscribe onto my YouTube channel, Unfiltered TV, or do follow me on my Facebook page, Unfiltered. So today, I want us to speak about how exactly do you know that you are spiritually gifted? Wazi kanjani ukuthi imoya yedlozi iphila ngaphakathi kwena? So today, I want us to focus on what exactly determines an individual to see if they are spiritually gifted. So whether or not if you're going to be isangoma, whether or not you're going to be umthandazo, whether or not you're going to be inyanga. So today I want us to speak about the signs and some of the things that happen in too that indicates that you are spiritually gifted and you are possessed with idlozi labantu abadala. Bear in mind that every individual unedlozi umuntu ahamba nalo. And every person is gifted in their own ways. But today we're going to be discussing the spiritual gift that is in relation of ukuba isangoma, ukuba umthandazo, ukuba inyanga, which is umsebenzi wabantu abadala. This is not in relation ukuthi mhlawumbe ungaba umfundisi, no. We are purely speaking about signs and some of the things that happen in impilo yakho that may indicate that you are spiritually gifted with ikwama noma imisebenzi yabantu abadala. So first and foremost, what exactly is being spiritually gifted? Being spiritually gifted is actually isibusiso noma inhlanhla so uphe abantu abadala. It's something that from birth is given to you. It's something where in the spiritual world, idlos lasekhaya whether elakomalum noma whether elakobaba come together and determine the type of future and determine the type of individual you're gonna be spiritually. Lo gogo noma mkhulu that decides ukuthi engene is appointed way before you even make it into the physical life. So, ekuqukeni kwempilo yakho, you are able to identify if you are spiritually gifted or not. Iningi lethu is not very fortunate to actually discover that they're spiritually gifted from a young age, including myself. So, what exactly are some of the signs that can be very obvious ukuthi you're spiritually gifted with imisebenzi yabantu abadala? So, the most common one is having voices inside your head. Kube ngathi khona different voices that are speaking inside of you, and you know these voices are not your own voice, or not ama voices of abantu in the physical life, but they are voices within your head. And sometimes these voices are very confusing because they are telling you different things. Sometimes these voices inside your head so kwidlozi noma kwabantu abadala so bekhuluma nawe. Okay. So another sign that can also indicate that you are spiritually gifted are visions. Like, I think visions are like the main thing that actually show ukuthi hey wena unabantu abadala. Visions ibonakaliso. Ngikhumbula when I was a kid growing up, I used to have a lot of deja vu. I used to see things before they happened, but since I didn't understand ukuthi nginabantu abadala, I just said it's deja vu. Until I discovered sengimdala, now that I'm a healer and a practicing healer, ukuthi no, mara sengasho ukuthi it's deja vu because ngokwesingisi twist it's deja vu. Kodwa uma siyibuka ngendlela yedlozi, I used to have visions and I used to have ibonakaliso eqhamuka kwabantu abadala. Moving on to some of the basic signs that most people, especially abantu besithunywa, usually have. Or it's ukushawa uvalo, ukusha ikhanda, and those heavy shoulders. It makes no sense. You got this massive headache, regardless of the amount of pills you can drink and the amount of painkillers that you're drinking. This headache would not go away because it's a headache that does not need Western medicine to be healed, but it requires traditional medicine in order for it to be healed. Okay, and okunye that actually shows ukuthi unabantu abadala, and it's a way idlozi lethu esikhathini esiningi eliveza ngayo ile nto yokushawa uvalo. usabusathe usahlezi hayibo naluvalo tu. And it's something that you cannot control, and sometimes you think with something bad is going to happen. But sometimes it's a way it's something that is constantly happening to you. Okay. Lucky are those people that were able to identify that they were spiritually gifted. Besabancane. Tolugut omunye umuntu by the age of 6, 7, they already know they are spiritually gifted. For myself, I discovered when I was 24 years. The signs were always there, but I didn't understand the signs because I didn't grow up in a household where we practice spiritual traditions, njalo. Not to say we didn't believe in it, but but it's not something that I'd also invest myself in wanting to know more. But yeah, moving on. Amaphupho ethu also indicates, guys, amaphupho ethu, as much as we do not understand dreams, amaphupho aveza yonke into. Some people have pure dreams. Thola ukuthi iphupho lakhe ngempela comes into light. Lento kade iphuphile iyenzeke even ngokwenyama. Thola ukuthi uphupha amabhayi, thola ukuthi uphupha amajazi, thola ukuthi uphupha imali, uphupha inyoka. Those are signs, guys, that hey, you are spiritually gifted. Idlozi lakhe is speaking to you. It is talking to you. Just that you don't understand at that specific time. Because why uphupha inyoka? Especially growing up, you knew ukuthi inyoka isitha. So you would think ukuthi njalo uma uphupha inyoka isitha sakho. Hence, I always mention ukuthi it also depends on the type of snake that you're dreaming and the color of the snake that you're dreaming. Isitha inyoka yakhona imnyama. Another thing that also pertains to you being spiritually gifted, guys, besides the voices in your head, especially for someone that is going to be sangoma, it's ukushaya kwegubhu endlebeni. Usabasathe usahlezi nazo igubhu ziyakhala endlebeni. And if you try and look outside and you ask the people around you uthi bayazizwa yini lezo igubhu, uthola ukuthi abazizwa at all. That already is a giveaway sign showing ukuthi as an individual, one day you're gonna be a sangoma. Whether you're practicing sangoma or not, but one day you go zohamba lo mkhanka wokube sangoma. I think 95% of individuals that are spiritually gifted, whether it's inyanga, whether it's sangoma, whether it's umthandazo, saphupha ubuhlali. Because each bathandazo kunobuhlali bakhona, ubunyanga kunobuhlali bakhona, ubusangoma kunobuhlali bakhona. Uyaphupha njalo, and each ubuhlali has different meanings. Those is also a giveaway, guys. It's definitely a giveaway showing ukuthi unabantu abadala. As individuals, we need to understand ukuthi as much as you are spiritually gifted, it doesn't mean ukuthi you're definitely going to be a practicing sangoma, you're definitely going to be a practicing umthandazo. Thola ukuthi idlozi lakho wants you to go within that route ukuthi ulaphe idlozi lakho. So hence they are showing you some of the signs ukuthi you are possessed with imimoya yabantu abadala. Ukuba nemoya yabantu abadala, something I've learned ukuthi we always look at it as kube ngathi into embi. And we always look ukuthi idlozi lethu, why is it making us suffer? Ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sifinyelele la bona abafuna befinyelele khona. It doesn't make sense when you're going through that phase of trying to find yourself spiritually. But once you overcome and do all the necessary imisebenzi yedlozi, uzobona now ukuthi no, izinto ziyaqala ukuvuleka and whatsoever. Hlanhle iyaqala ukuthi ifike and whatsoever. I hope I make sense. Besides ukuphupha, uvalo and whatsoever, there are some things that happen in the physical life that will also indicate ukuthi you're someone onabantu abadala. For example, ukuthi thola ukuthi abathanda abantu style. You'll even think ukuthi you're an introvert. That's how most people say, told you're an introvert. abantu nje, being around people just annoys you, and people in general annoy you. Being in loud places. Yeah, guys, you 21 years old, 18-year-old, when awusawuthanda umsini kube ngathi uyikhehla noma ugogo omdala usufuna ukuhlala endlini ulokhu uphuza itiye. Lokho kuchaza ukuthi abantu abadala abaphila ngakwena that abakulawulayo umzimba wakho, making you not like abantu, making you not like umsindo and whatsoever. Enye into ebuyicike no enye into as people that we just don't like, as someone that's spiritually gifted, ukuthintwa. Thola ukuthi umuntu ukuthinta ekhanda, ukuthinta amahlombe, ukuthinta izandla in general, you just do not like that. Personally, I don't. Especially until today, I don't like umuntu ongithinta ekhanda nasemahlombe. I just don't like it, especially ekhanda. Hence, I usually do my hair once after 3 months. Because I usually need to find the strength ukuthi umuntu elokhu engithinta ekhanda. So let's move on from that. Those are some of the signs, and there are many signs, and there's other symptoms that can even show what you're spiritually gifted. But from zonke lezinto that I've been talking about, what if kungenzeki kuwena lokho? What are some of the other things that can show that you are spiritually gifted? Ngesinye isikhathi, you need to look at it from a impilo yakho holistically. Ubheke isimo sakho somsebenzi, ubheke isimo sakho of relationships, ubheke isimo sakho of the finances, ubheke isimo sakho futhi ukuthi indaba impilo yakho imile. Abantu abadala bayaba naleyo impact empilweni yakho, ukuthola ukuthi beyimise impilo yakho. That is one of the ways to show ukuthi you are spiritually gifted. Thola ukuthi uthe uyazama akuhlangani at all. Thola ukuthi umsama sekhaya vele right. Let's take out that factor out the equation. Umsama sekhaya right. Now right, if you've never had any type of abortion, miscarriage or whatever, right nje now. But if ubuke isimo sempilo yakhe uyaxoxa ukuthi indaba impilo yakhe imile. It's because abantu abadala ibona soke benza impilo yakho ukuthi imi. Emsebenzini thola ukuthi uyasebenza, but nakhona kube ngathi ukehla kenyuka nakhona izinto emsebenzini kube ngathi ziyancikisela. 1 minute you working, the next you not. Thola ukuthi uyaqashwa namhlanje uyayeka kusasa. Another thing, relationship wise, you also do not last, especially for females that have ngemimoya yamakhehla. Amakhehla esikhathini esiningi anesikhwele. Thola ukuthi wena in a relationship ufuna ukuthi uyiphathe umfana wabantu, undoda yabantu, you want to be the man in the relationship, hlezi uyibhukela ingane yabantu and all those things. Oh, before I forget, another sign, the most obvious sign, guys, uvuka idlozi. Thola ukuthi abantu inkinga zabo batshela zinjalo, umuntu ubhonga. Hey, ibo lento yokubhonga iyathusa, umuntu ubhonge njalo. Nalento yokuzamula ke njalo. Those are other obvious signs that indicate that you're spiritually gifted. But back to the relationship wise. So ukuthi even relationship wise, izinto zakho akuhlangani. You would date today, break up tomorrow, date for another 6 months, break up, njalo. Kube ngathi it's a pattern. You have no luck in relationships. But at the same time, these things that I'm naming, just because you're unlucky in relationship, it doesn't mean ukuthi wena unemimoya yedlozi. But you also need to look at impilo yakho holistically. Not only are you not successful in the relationship department, but work-wise you're also not successful. Financially you're also not successful. So lethi imali iyangena iyaphuma, imali yakho ayihlali futhi kuwena. Zonke lezinto, you also need to look at it from that aspect. So ukuthi indaba, as much as inhlanhla ikhona, especially for abantu abazala bembethe noma abantu abazala benqambile, that also indicates ukuthi you are possessed with imimoya yabantu abadala, ukuthi idlozi unalo, ukuthi uzalwa umbethe noma uzalwa unqambile. Those are also obvious signs that indicate that you are spiritually gifted. Because sometimes even thola ukuthi you are thinking ukuthi you're just going through a phase empilweni yakho, ukuthi izinto zakho azihambi kahle, thinking ukuthi you're going to make a recovery, thola ukuthi ungayenzi leyo recovery. Ngakho it's very important as an individual ukuthi uhambe uyohlola. Any traditional healer will pick up that you are spiritually gifted. As much as when you're not seeing the signs, you spiritually gifted. Kodwa ngendlela impilo yakhe ihamba ngayo ngaleso sikhathi, it should show ukuthi you are gifted. We don't look at the situation yempilo zethu esikhathini esiningi when we want to see if we're spiritually gifted. Judging from the people that I've spoken to esikhathini esiningi, they're always waiting for signs such as kuba nekhanda, visions, heavy shoulders, voices, that the basic signs, dreams. Those are not the only signs, besides that you're spiritually gifted, but isimo sempilo yakhe are also a sign and also a huge factor that can show ukuthi you are spiritually gifted. And earlier on, I did mention just an overall experience of how I identified ukuthi how I was spiritually gifted. I was not one that was fortunate enough to know from a young age that I was spiritually gifted. But I did mention because I knew when I was 25. Nakona, because someone told me that I'm spiritually gifted. Nakona, I did not believe them. Hence, I took the initiative to actually go and consult. And if during that consultation, it also came out that I was spiritually gifted. And I still did not believe it. But then they recommended Oguti Genze Ikobong. And funny enough, Ikobong cleared up everything. I started hearing the voices. I started seeing the dreams and whatsoever. As much as I was a person that used to dream, as much as I used to dream a lot. But those dreams to me back then did not make sense because I did not understand the whole spiritual world. And I didn't understand what exactly Idlozi is and what is the purpose of Idlozi. Back then, even growing up, I used to have a lot of deja vu. Now that I look at it, it was abantu abadala so benkombisisi. But the most obvious one that also made me go to a traditional healer was because impilo yami was very stagnant. I graduated 2-3 years later. I still had not found a job. And if I go back, even in school and especially in varsity, I had a struggle. Getting my degree was a struggle. It took me longer than other people. And another thing, if you're someone that's spiritually gifted, guys, I'm a party now. There's a lot of tragedies that happen to you in Pilinyak. For example, if you're in varsity and you're struggling to get NSFAS and you know very well, Logoti, you qualify for NSFAS. Child, let me tell you something. And as it was it's like they make the most easiest thing to be a struggle to obtain. So yeah, I feel like I'm talking a lot. But with myself, I also struggled in varsity. And even after getting that qualification, I still struggled to get a job. Only to find out because Idlozi Lama wanted me to ngibasebenzele and ngenze izinto zabantu abadala. Until today, I do not like working for another individual. I would work today, leave my job tomorrow, get another job, leave my job. Because I do not like upata. Idlozi Lama alithanda upata. So if I look at the things that used to happen in Pilweni Yami, it actually shows because abantu abadala have always been there. Just that I did not take notice of them or I didn't have the necessary information that would help me see them ngaleso sikhathi. So going into today, I just want you to ubheke now from the signs that I've listed and the signs I've spoken about. Ukuthi, do you have any of them? 2-3 of them. And if ubuka isimo sempilo yakho futhi, does it show ukuthi wena unenkinga unayo yini ngemimoya yabantu abadala? So yeah, I think that is it for today. So just take time and observe ukuthi kwenzakalani empilweni yakho. Observe ukuthi kwenzakalani to wena as an individual. Also make sure, guys, ukuthi you set yourself some spiritual goals. Identify who you are as an individual. Identify what you want to achieve for Idlozi Lakho. And hopefully you'll make some spiritual breakthrough in empilweni yakho. That is it for today. Please do not forget to subscribe and please follow me on my social media page. On Facebook, it's @Ndlovkazi, and follow me on my Instagram @Ndlovkazi. Until next time, everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.